Hi friends, we're not at school anymore because of the illness, and I wanted to make sure I had time to say hi to you. So I am at my home, and I wanted to talk to you and your parents about some different games and things that you could play at home to help you with your numbers and with different math games. Um, so parents, this is for you too. I just wanted to show you a couple things that you could do at home with just things that you might be able to find around your house, so that way you don't have to go out and buy anything. As we know, we are all staying home and we don't want to go out right now. So you can modify any of these activities with things that you have around your house, or I had to even think about different ways to make things myself. I'll explain that to you in a minute. First thing maybe you might have around the house to help your child with numbers is just a plain deck of cards. Your child loves playing memory. I know this because I play memory with them quite often at school, and they usually beat me. Usually we use picture cards. I just started using actual playing cards right before we went out due to the corona, and they love using playing cards just because grown-ups use them and they think that's really cool. It's a great way just for them to recognize their numbers. Of course, the 3 and the 4 on playing cards are written a little bit different than we would normally write them, but that's a good thing. It's good for children to see the numbers written in different ways, different forms, as they are out in the world. When I do play memory with the children, I'm actually pretty fussy about it. I set the cards up very neatly. When we flip cards over, I do have your child leave them down. That way everybody who is playing the game can see the placement of the card, and when they flip it, they have to neatly flip it back over again. I know, easy peasy, very basic game, but really, if you do play it and choose to play it with your child, I would leave the kings, queens, and jacks in, just because, again, it's just something they're going to see as life goes on. They are worth 10. You can talk about that. You can just talk about the different pictures. They see the Q's, they see the K's and the J's, and it even helps them distinguish that, between a letter and a number. Another thing you can do with the cards is War. And War is a pretty addictive, really fun game for your child, and it actually teaches them higher, lower, or greater than, less than. And of course, that's when you each take half of a stack of cards and you both flip at the same time. The higher card wins, gets both of the cards. I'm sure you are all familiar with War. That's why I'm kind of racing through this one right now. And you can teach them all about a war. So if the 2 cards are flipped up that are alike, you put 3 out and you get to say war. And then the person who when you say 1, 2, 3, war, and you put 3 cards out, that highest card then wins. Another game that you can play with cards is Go Fish. And that helps a lot with number recognition. And all of these games do help with taking turns. A lot of the reasons in pre-K that we do play games and we do teach in play is for basic life skills, such as waiting your turn and taking a turn, speaking politely, and having really good sportsmanship. So you can play a game really simple, such as Go Fish, with your child, and when you're asking, do you have any 3s? Go fish. If you don't have them, and if you do have them, of course you would give the card to your partner, or your partner will give it to you. Again, we want to really focus on number recognition and sportsmanship. We don't want to say, no, you don't have it, and tease our opponent. We want to always make sure we are kind, using full sentences, and just being really patient and taking turns. Another thing, though, that you can do with your child, especially because now that they're getting older, and many of them do already recognize numbers 1 through 10, is really working on those numbers 11 through 20. And some things that you can do are just even write on your own phone. I used to use the calculator function with my own children, or even if you have just a silly old calculator, I don't know if people have them at home anymore, but if you have a regular old calculator, you can show them, hey, let's make numbers in the teens. Look, a 1 and a 0. I just made the number 10. Just knowing how to use calculator functions is a life skill in itself. You can show them, look, when I do a 1 and a 2 together, I just made number 12. You can practice making the numbers. You can practice counting objects. You can say, hey, I made 15, you show me 15 things. And these are just a bag of candy that I found in my house. Yes, I have candy laying around. And these are just M&Ms. You could have your child count out 15 M&Ms. Okay, put them back in home base. You could show your child, hey, this is number 18. Have them count out 18. It's really important that they can touch the object and count at the same time and keep it on pace. If you don't have candy or things like that laying around, I found macaroni. Like I said, I was trying to find other things in the home that you could use if you don't have exactly what I have, because it's okay if you do not. If you want to make this a little bit more advanced for your child, because some children already even recognize the numbers in the teens, you can show them on the calculator that the reason that the number has the digit 1 in the front is because it's added with a 10. So you could show your child, hey, the reason I have the 14 is because I am adding the number to 10. This is the plus function. Anytime I add a single digit number to 10, I get a number in the teens, and the 1 is first. So you can just go through numbers like that and show them, hey, 10 plus 8, guess what? When I press equals, it's going to be 18, because the 1 is from that number 10. This is a longer video than I thought it was going to be. If you have other objects at home, like a dice, there are games that you can do as well. It was actually hard for me to find a dice in my house. I'm used to having a schoolroom where all my supplies are in one closet. And obviously I can't even get into the school, into the classroom right now. So I had to actually go through a couple of my junk drawers, and I couldn't find dice, which was very strange to me. So I did get the dice out of a different game that we had at home. But dice is the same thing. Your child loves to roll dice. We do this a lot at school, and again, I'm pretty particular about it. I don't let them throw them around or throw them up in the air or throw them at people. I do make them have their dice in their hand, vibrate it up, shake it a little bit, and roll it on the floor. Whatever number comes up at this point in your child's learning, hopefully your child recognizes the dot formation on the dice. If they don't, it is fine if they count it and tell you, oh, that's number 4. What we're hoping for by this point of the year, though, is that your child is able to see the dots and say 6 and knows it right off the bat. If your child does, fantastic. Your child can play the roll and write game. You just roll a dice, and whatever number comes up, it's a 2. Then your child just takes crayon, marker, pen, pencil, paper, and writes that number down. It doesn't have to be in any particular order. Oh, I got a 6. They can write the number 6. If your child knows their numbers 1 through 6 and they recognize them quickly on the dice, well, then use 2. And then, yes, roll them together, put them out and show them. Well, now you're actually adding them together. They can count them. You could say 1 plus 2. So you can make this activity more advanced or more easy as you would like. If you don't have dice, that's okay, because as I was searching my own home for dice, I was thinking about all my families at home. And I thought, oh my gosh, if they don't have dice, what's another idea that they can use? And this is something that we actually use in class. I used 3x5 cards, but you can use a piece of paper. And to get the perfect circle that I made, I just traced a coffee cup. And this is a spinner. I broke it into 6s. And to use the spinner, I'm actually going to put it down on something hard so you can see it. To use the spinner, and your child does know how to do this because we have used these in class, your pencil goes in the middle of the circle. If you have a paper clip, which you may not, and I have an idea for you for that too. If you have a paper clip, you put your paper clip down and your pencil goes in the big loop. You now have your very own homemade spinner. And whatever number that the paper clip lands on, again, your child can say, oh, that's a 4. They can say it, write it. They can say the number, write the number, count manipulatives. You can even advance this activity by making a spinner with numbers in the teens, like I did here. So here are my teen numbers. Again, you can make these activities as easy or more challenging depending on your child. Another thing you can do, I just want to show you one more thing before I go, is play the roll and draw game. And the way that we play this, you can either use the spinner or you can use the dice. And behind me, and my son is filming this right now, or recording it, sorry, you will see a chart with different pieces of a bunny. The roll and draw game, now I made the bunny because Easter's coming up, but you could actually create your own and make any picture that you want. Just make it in stages or steps. A number 1 is a circle. A number 2 stands for bunny ears. I accidentally made piggy ears up at the top, and then I realized I needed to make bunny ears, so I am sorry. A number 3 is eyes. A 4 is a nose. The 5 is the mouth, and number 6 is the whiskers. And the way that you play, you just roll. You have to roll a 1 to be able to make the bunny's head. So I would keep rolling my dice. Nope, still don't have a 1 yet. But make sure your child says the number. 3, 1. Hey, I got a 1. Now I can draw the circle. Now I need to roll a 2. So I would keep rolling my dice. I actually just got lucky. And I did roll a 2. That means I can make bunny ears. Again, if you don't have a die, you would want to use your spinner and you can keep spinning. I need a 3. Oh, I landed on 3. Now I can make eyes. And you would keep going and going until you had your bunny made. These are quick, just really easy, fun things that maybe you can do at home on your spare time. I'm going to leave this video. I'm going to have my son zoom in on this, and that way you can take a screenshot of it if you want to use it. And again, you could do it with making a flower or making a dog or a cat. So you can change it up any way that you like. Thanks. I'll be seeing you again.